Welcome to Ad Infinitum, the only show solely focused on audio ads, the creatives who make them, the latest thinking that informs them, how the space is evolving, and my favorite part, a roundup of recent ads with analysis by yours truly, Stu Redwine, and typically each episode's guest, only I'm trying something new on this episode. No guest, just yours truly, Stu Redwine. Want to take a listen to some recent top spenders from Magellan AI. You can get a free demo of Magellan at magellan.ai/ad infinitum. And so we're going to listen to, like I said, 4 top spenders from September. Want to listen to the ads, give the Audiolytics scores, and a few thoughts on what they're doing and what they could potentially do better. So the first one here is from Washable Sofas, which has been the top spender recently. I wonder what their business is all about. Let's find out.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? WashableSofas.com has your back. Featuring the Anabe collection, the only designer sofa that's machine washable inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slip covers made with performance fabrics. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Check out WashableSofas.com and get up to 60% off your Anabe sofa, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
So Washable Sofas sounds like Lovesac, only it's much more clear what Washable Sofas is than what Lovesac is from the name of the advertiser. Why don't we do this? We're going to listen to all 4. And then I will give the breakdown of the scores. I'll just give some immediate thoughts. I mean, look, this is one of those that Clarity has a cleverness all of its own. Been a top spender. Seems like they know what they're doing. That price point is lower. Having been a Lovesac customer myself, this sounds lower. So it sounds like it's Lovesac on a budget with all the value props. And I imagine just reading between the lines, so to speak, this is a big spend. They're spending a lot right now coming into the holidays when we've got the tariffs affecting everything. And so let me get this washable sofa. Are you tired of spills and stains on your sofa? Of course. And then, like, who wants to buy completely new furniture that can get crazy expensive? They're saying there's no risk. Talk about the comfort. Like, it is very clear. And this is the kind of stuff that a lot of folks, they listen to, it turns them off. But, you know, it's like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. It just might work. And my guess is that this probably is working very well. This feels very old school DR, somebody that knows what they're doing, and putting that pleasant song in there does a ton of work for you. You know, there are those that would be turned off by this, but I would wonder if they'd even be somebody that would buy a washable sofa for $699. That's something you have to keep in mind as well. So yeah, thumbs up on this one for now on. They're doing clear. It would be way cooler if they were using the hosts. This is from Drama Queens, episode Work in Progress, Jonathan Capehart, published on 9/3. So there's Washable Sofas. All right, next up, we've got FanDuel on Locked On Kraken, daily podcast on the Seattle Kraken. Episode, Will Lambert's disciplined approach resurrect the Seattle Kraken's playoff hopes? Oh, not Will Lambert. That's not a name. It's Will Lambert's. So let's try that again. Will Lambert's disciplined approach resurrect, all caps, the Seattle's Kraken's playoff hopes? I don't know. We'll have to watch and see. Let's listen to this ad by FanDuel on Locked On Kraken.
This episode of Locked On Kraken brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The season is here. The NFL season is here. The NHL season is almost here. And FanDuel is making sure you're ready to kick off with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5. And if your first $5 bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. A lot of people love using FanDuel because you have player props, same game parlays. You can even jump in while the live action is happening. It makes game day more exciting. You have all of those opportunities to, win a little money while watching your favorite team. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. And if you are ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
There's like a bunch of background noise in that ad. Producer Jeff is agreeing with me. Yeah, that was interesting. It felt like I was listening to like when you call the police department. Yeah, for those of you that have called the police department. I know I have a handful of times. The background noise, a little different than like a call center. Like it was just like stuff going on in the background, which is interesting. Yeah, it doesn't sound like she's used FanDuel. Not sure if this is a host or not. But there's something to gambling. Yeah. Why do people gamble? To win money, or because they lost and to try, but it's to win. You play to win. So that's in there. It's clear. But yeah, I thought at first, I was like, oh, this is a perfect one to follow up Washable Sofas because she's going to give the endorsement. But it was like, she's like, a lot of people love using FanDuel because you have player props, same game parlays. And I'm the same. Like not big on all the ins and outs in the lingo, but a lot of people love as opposed to I love it, or I use it, or even somebody like, hey, I know our producer Jeff uses it, blah, 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 blah. So, but it was clear. Again, it's a clarity episode. This is from 9/17. I would put Washable Sofas above this one, just because it went a little bit longer. The more you tell us, the more you sell. But probably just by a hair. But both of these are doing a lot right. But man, they're not doing anything to impress anybody if you played it in a boardroom. That's for sure. But they might just be working. They probably are. Here's one from a massive podcast advertiser, BetterHelp, on Pod Save the People. This is from 10/7. With Liberty and Justice for Some is the name of the episode. Here we go.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we're saying thank you to the therapist. I'll tell you, therapy has been a game changer for me. I'm so happy that I finally, as an adult, went to therapy. And I used to go 2 days a week, and now I go when I need it more. But it has been important because I just needed somewhere to process the world in my life without the people in my life. And this was the way that I could do it. So shout out to the therapists that have helped me and the people I love. And that's why I think BetterHelp is great. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of issues, millions of things people want to talk about. And behind everyone is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped somebody take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. One day I was in therapy, and my therapist had asked me a question, and I answered it, and I just heard my voice say it out loud, and I could hear it. Me saying it out loud, I heard the thing. It was just one of those aha moments, but it was prompted by him asking me a question, and I'm so thankful for my therapist to really pushing me and just asking me things in such a safe and simple way. But that, when I say it out loud, I'm like, oh, I get it. And with over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. And you can find a therapist that's right for you. You can switch therapists anytime. You can get started right now. It's fully virtual. I can't recommend it enough. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/people. That's BETTER help.com/people. That's BetterHelp.com/people.
That was 2 minutes and a lot to like about that. So we didn't get self-identification, which is something I miss a lot on host-read ads, to say the host name, even though it's well, they already know that. It's anytime that thought comes into our minds, I feel like as advertisers and marketers, we got to check it. Because it's what I always think of. I live in Santa Clarita, California, and I'll walk into the Walmart and there's a sign up above inside Walmart, you're in their house. And there's a huge banner that says #1 grocer in California. You've already made the decision. You're already there. It's just so important to make your claims and and boost confidence and trust wherever you can. Like that's the number one thing is trust. And then what it is, and then offer, and how you say it. How you say it is kind of right up there with offer. So missing a little there, could be more direct. When it got into the middle on the story, like I liked where it was headed, but it was sharing in a general way, and it was so general that it was easier for me to check out, and kind of just got into this long thing. So it could be more specific about BetterHelp. So I think for the amount of like this whole, I was going to show you anyway, it's like a chunk of text. It's 2 minutes, right? So what is that? 360 words, potentially 300 some words. Man, for all those words, I don't know how hard each one's working. Even though like technically, like letter of the law, it's doing a lot, but spirit of the law, is it really all the way there? And I don't think so. But man, it comes with a lot of weight. BetterHelp comes with a lot of weight. It's not as novel as it used to be. Getting therapy online. So this is sort of just an ode to mental health without a lot of specificity. All it would have taken is like, look, I don't like to talk a lot about it, but when my dad died a couple years ago, I was in therapy, and I was hearing myself say things like just something to anchor it to something other than just there wasn't that specificity. So I would say cut this thing back on length. Maybe the person was going long. It's probably a minute ad and they went long. But if we were going to rank these right now, I still would put Washable Sofas on top, FanDuel, and then BetterHelp. Okay, last one we're going to listen to is Toyota on serial killers. Episode Do You Believe in Magic from 9/15. This is the final one. Here we go.
Toyota is moving toward a more sustainable future by giving you the freedom to choose from an incredible lineup of trucks, now available in both gas and hybrid models, including the legendary Tacoma and the powerful Tundra, both available with the iForce Max hybrid powertrain and backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability and value. In fact, for 2025, Toyota is the best resale value brand for the 5th year in a row, according to the Kelley Blue Book, KBB.com, with Tacoma ranked number 1, holding the highest projected retained value of any vehicle. Choosing Toyota means having more options and less compromise. So visit buyatoyota.com for a great deal on an efficient Toyota today. Vehicles projected resale value is specific to the 2025 model year. For more information, visit Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Sleepy. I feel sleepy today, so that maybe that's why these feel sleepy. But that one felt sleepy too. It's like it's fine, and they just might work. That's what's wild, because the mind goes into this like down-cycled spot, especially when it's doing something habitual, where it gets payoff, like dopamine payoff, which everybody's bandying that about with social media. But any habit that gives you satisfactory, predictable, though sometimes inconsistent outcomes. So like listening to a host, there's going to be intermittent reinforcement. They're going to make you feel really good, but at unpredictable moments of time. But you do know they're going to make you feel real good. Your brain then, what fires together wires together. So it's in this really soft, malleable, brainwashable place. And then probably a pretty passive place, so that when a message like this goes, it's going in. Your hearing is always on. It's 360. It's the fastest. It also supersedes all other senses. So like even something like this is like it's going in, but could it be better? And yeah, it's like this one, like the BetterHelp one, is missing that personal, like, man, I had a Toyota 4Runner. Or my friend did, like that, oh man, I remember, what's it, Tacomas? Producer Jeff, did Toyota make Tacomas? Yeah, I can remember tacos, like, the guys I went to school with, or when I was, they're way into the Tacomas. Like, that's a way in. You go like, Toyota's just one of those brands people just love. Oh, this ad was about Tacomas. There you go. I got brainwashed and I didn't even know it. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so Tacoma, that would be perfect. Yeah, I can remember there was guys I knew, like when I was in college or right out of college, that had Tacomas that were way into them, right? Well, right there, that's me. If I was the host doing it, I'm lending some of my credibility to that from a story from my own life to help endorse this Tacoma thing. So there we go. Kind of sleepy set of ads on a sleepy Monday. BetterHelp could have had more personalization. Toyota could have had more personalization. We got FanDuel. FanDuel, people like to win money. So if you don't play, you can't win. So I still, though, I think it's a little tough, but I'd probably put Washable Sofas at the top because I think they worked harder, even in a bland way. They worked harder. He worked really hard on it. So do washing machines. It's like the Washable Sofas worked harder for it if we're ranking these than FanDuel. Washable Sofas, I would say, worked harder for it, all things being equal, than FanDuel. Then I think it's Tacoma, Toyota Tacoma, and then BetterHelp. So let's see what Audiolytics said was cool is we got to grade these in Audiolytics with the new software version of Audiolytics that we're using at the office. It's so rad. Because for all time at Oxford Road, it's like it started out on paper and then Google Sheets, like putting it all in, and there's weights and calculating the curves and basing it on performance and all this stuff. And now it's like I log in to audiolytics.com and I can, it's not something available to the public, but that we use. It's just cool. It's a cool moment. It's a proud moment, Oxford Road, to be able to use it. So that's cool. So that's how I ran these through the machine, and let's see where they came out. You know what? I'm going to just translate these real quick before I tell you guys. And let me see what else is going on in the world of audio advertising. I think fine is forgettable is the big one to keep in mind. I constantly think of Mike Cesario. I normally have on my Liquid Death watch to remind me to be awesome, not advertising awesome. And that's hard to do. But I think the way he said it was like we set out to be funny. This is FanDuel's. Like really funny, not advertising funny. And, you listen back to these, and I just sat with a client last week, and like we listened to their ads and their competitors' ads, and it's, it can be a little bit of a cringe moment. I'll be honest, and I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the problem. And you go, ugh. It's like the scene in City Slickers where he plays Pizza Guys. A pizza guy, come on down to Pizza Guys. Like, people are wrecking their cars. We used to make fun of people that made this stuff. I got to keep that in my mind as well, because I think there's this dynamic at play, like I was talking about earlier with the way the brain works and what fires together, wires together, that you don't have to, there's some tailwinds are going to work in your favor, and that can fool you into maybe not swinging as hard as you could. But just imagine if you did. But you can imagine what it'd be like if they did. Okay. So here we go. At the end of the day, with Audiolytics. Okay, interesting. As is often the case, they're right in line here. We got Washable Sofas, came in at 89%, which seems about right. Seems a little high, but there's a lot there. It's, it's missing personal endorsement. I'm going to ratchet that down. That can't be. I'm going to knock all these down by 4. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. All right, Washable Sofa. Okay, so the roundup of the Audiolytics scores, Washable Sofas came in at 85%. Sounds about right. Could, if it had a personal endorsement in there, that'd take it over. There's a couple other things it could do. FanDuel is 83%. More of the same. We're following what we said. And then Audiolytics has got it inverted from yours truly. Potentially we could run them again and see or look at them, but right in there, BetterHelp's at 82%. More you tell, the more you sell. There's a lot more to that. And then Toyota's at 80%. So generally the same order. Definitely the one at the top was the same on top, which was Washable Sofas. So for this week, what I'm seeing, so for this roundup, what I'm hearing is more of the same. Fine is forgettable. If you're going to go into audio, be distinct. Look at how much, just listening right now, there's so much opportunity. There is so much opportunity. to be distinct and to make personal connections. And that's what any one of these could do. It really wouldn't be a massive shift for any one of them, right? FanDuel, she could talk about using it herself or someone she knows that uses it. Washable Sofa, you could throw into customer testimonials, keep it as a produced spot. Let's say it has to be produced. I don't know. BetterHelp, get more specific. I think that one needed to be more specific. It was so general that it got hard to follow because of how general it was. And then Toyota, again, the personal connection. It's a huge brand. That's a massive brand that has excitement and lore around it that you could talk about, especially the Tacoma, right? And I'm not even a car guy, and I know people are into the Tacomas. So go out there, make some distinct personal ads. Audio advertising is like business, like Michael Scott said about business. It's always personal. It really is the way audio functions. And as always, remember to have fun making the ads work. Thanks for listening to Ad Infinitum. And make sure you sign up. Also, you can go sign up for a free demo of Magellan.ai at magellan.ai/ad infinitum.